welcome to Young Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
Good evening, fellow countrymen and women. This is an update by the family of the former president, President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, on the state of the negotiations with the government of Zambia. The family of the former president, President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, wishes to provide a public update on the state of negotiations with the government of the Republic of Zambia regarding the protracted burial impasse of the late former president who died on the 5th of June 2025 in South Africa. On the 5th of September, the family and representatives of the government issued a joint statement wherein the public was notified that the parties would engage in mediation to resolve the dispute. It was agreed that the process would include taking steps to rebuild trust that had earlier been broken by the Zambian state when they released a funeral program that included new elements that were contrary to what was agreed upon. The government chose Bishop Joshua Banda from the North Mid Assemblies of God, and the family appointed Dr. Alec Banda, the Roman Catholic Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Lusaka. It was agreed that the two mediators were to preside over the discussions between the family and the government. However, at the time of this agreement, His Grace Archbishop Banda was in Europe and only set to return home on or around the 1st of October 2025. In the intervening period, the state engaged in acts that have only worked to undermine trust in the process. These acts included the following. Number one, hiring of the services of a private investigator without the knowledge and consent of the family. On 23rd of September 2025, in an attempt to access the body of former President Lungu, the Zambian government engaged a private investigator who approached the morgue holding the remains of the late former president, alleging that a docket of case had been opened after a report was allegedly received from a family member to the extent that the former president had been poisoned. Whilst the said private investigator, in the company of plainclothes police officers, was still at the morgue, the family was contacted, and upon request, the said investigator and police declined to talk to the family. Instead, the investigator and police officers proceeded to hold a meeting with the management of the morgue. The following were the minutes of the proceedings of the said meeting. And I quote, "On 23rd September 2025, we received an announced visit from members of the South African Police Service, accompanied by a representative of a private security firm. The purpose of the visit was to inquire about the whereabouts of a body in connection with a case of alleged poisoning involving the president. The attendees of the meetings were Sheldon Modley, who was the chief executive of the morgue, Fulufelo Lukwareni, who was the operations manager of the morgue, and Pom Nisi, executive legal risk and compliance at the morgue. With the private investigator was Detective Sergeant Ngwenya from SAPS Parktown, Sergeant Tovejani from SAPS Parktown, and Mr. Sibindi, the CEO of Gira's Investigations. Detective Sergeant Ngwenya advised that a case of poisoning had been opened and wanted to know the whereabouts of the body in order to carry out a post-mortem. When asked who initiated the case, we were informed that it was opened on the basis of allegations circulating on public platforms, including social media. We also inquired about Mr. Sibindi's involvement, and he confirmed that he had been appointed by the Zambian government in relation to the matter. All three individuals presented valid identification prior to any discussions. We confirm that the body is currently with TM, although we do not have specific details on its exact location. We also inform the officials that a court order is in place prohibiting the release of the body, and we remain committed to complying with this order. Detective Sergeant Gwenya indicated that SAPS may proceed with an application under Section 205 and potentially save us with an order to release the body so that they can do a postmortem on 25th September. Action TM to update the family regarding the above developments. End of quote. Upon receipt of these trust-breaching acts, the family decided to bring this matter to the attention of Mr. Patrick Kangwa, the Secretary to the Cabinet of the Republic of Zambia, whom the government had officially designated as its focal point of contact through whom all communication was to be carried out. In response, Mr. Kangwa expressed ignorance as to the happenings and undertook to inquire. After 3 days of silence, we nudged the Secretary to the Cabinet for a response as to the outcome of his inquiry. Mr. Kangwa responded that as far as he knew, the Zambian government was not involved in these acts and had not tendered any such report to him. As this correspondence was taking place via phone, we then requested the Secretary to the Cabinet to put in writing the response he had just shared with the family so that the formal communication of the position of the government could be shared with the morgue for its notice. Despite undertakings to do so, Mr. Kangwa has to date not done so. Perhaps additionally, as of this evening, Mr. Kangwa said the said letter would not be processed. Instead, on the 29th of September 2025, a group calling itself Progressive Forces of South Africa purported to have formally filed a report with the South African Police Service, alleging that President Edgar Lungu was murdered and as such investigations be carried out. It must be noted that this is the same organization that was used to disparage the Lungu family and vilify the late former President Lungu. It is also the same organization that protested at the Pretoria High Court when the matter came up for their hearing in the name of supporting the government of Zambia. The public may wish to note that while the family was and has been engaging the government in good faith, the government was and has, in the background, been carrying out clandestine activities that can only be said to be intended to frustrate the process and present a futile bid to access the body of the former President Lungu for unknown reasons. Secondly, the sustained and malicious attacks on the family-chosen mediator. Following the return of Archbishop Alik Banda, the mediator selected by the family on the 1st of October 2025, it was announced that the parties were to engage and agree on the dates and timelines for discussion. However, rogue online tabloids and individuals associated with the government of Zambia launched scathing attacks on His Grace Archbishop Banda, short of calling him a criminal. These attacks continued for days, bringing the name of the Archbishop into public ridicule and odium. This has resulted in the stalling of progress to formally commence talks. Incidents such as the above stated seriously erode the trust that is essential to the success of the process of this nature. They also raise legitimate concerns about the sincerity and coordination of efforts on the part of those involved. That said, the Lungu family remains fully committed to ensuring that the late former president is laid to rest in a manner that honors his dignity and wishes. This has been the position of the family from the beginning. As such, the family will explore every avenue to honor former former President Lungu's wishes. We remain indebted to the Zambian people and other well-wishers who have continued to stand with the Lungu family in prayers, thoughts, and otherwise, and without whom the burden and load would have been unbearable. As we seek closure to what has been and continues to be a very difficult period, we continue praying to God Almighty and remain hopeful that this darkest hour will pass. May God bless Zambia, and may God bless everyone who is watching this podcast. I thank you.